freedom riders, young people, college students, who were testing segregational laws in the South on federal buses. And I somehow or other found myself on a freedom ride, not knowing really the meaning of it. But after the ride, I understood the meaning of it. I understood the violence and the segregation in the South. And that began to tweak my interest in photographing for the next 3 or 4 years, many of the marches, demonstrations. So I found these young people extremely brave because they could be shot, they could be beaten, they could be arrested.
We shall overcome. We shall overcome.
I was on a march of 5 black, 5 whites, and they were walking down the Alabama and Mississippi Road because a postman had walked down that very same highway with a sign that read, "Eat at Joe's, both black and white." And he was shot and killed. And one walker, Winston Lockett was his name, he engaged some of these white young rednecks, and he was confronting them. And one of them lit a match and threw it on his head. And then Viola LaRusso, you know the story? She was a white mother of 4 that drove from Detroit in her Oldsmobile to help ferry college students from the march back to the dorm. And a Klan got wind of it, followed her car, drove up alongside and shot her with a shotgun. The demonstration held in Birmingham in 1963 in Kelly Ingram Park started off as a peaceful protest, and then the police came, and then the fire department came, and they used high-pressure hoses to intimidate people who were peacefully protesting.
Race has no place in American life or law.
I was in a small town in South Carolina, and I came upon a group of teenagers dancing in front of a jukebox. And I photographed that. But when I went back to my motel room, the police came and arrested me. They asked me if I was an agitator. Was I a communist? Or was I a communist sympathizer? And I said, I'm none of those things. He said, well, you're going to get out of town by 6 o'clock tomorrow morning, or we're going to stomp you. Stomp you means beat you up. So I left at 6 o'clock, but that was a close call. Well, I remember attending a service at the 16th Street Baptist Church where Martin Luther King gave a speech. And the warmth and love in that church was incredible. They were all holding hands and singing gospel hymns and listening to Martin Luther King. And the mood in that church was very warm. That mood was transferred along on many marches, but there was a lot of fear also. Mother Brown was a woman who was born a slave. In 1962, when I met her, she was 110. If you think that this woman was born a slave, I mean, that's a long trip from slavery to a time when there will be change, and there was change at that time, and then she was part of that change. So she was just a way of looking back at the past.